All right, so let's see what we got. I need to check audio.
Tia, it's not looking like
Oh,
you live.
yes, I'm checking audio now. All right, so let's see. What do I got? What I got? What do I got? What I got? I think that's live. I have to check my audio. No, it's impossible because sometimes it don't work. I'm about to find out that in just a moment. Let's see. Audio. Let's see. I think we got it. Greetings, everybody. Welcome back to another week. I'm surprised that the internet is still functional due to the fact that half of the internet decided to take a crap and everybody got stranded at airlines on Friday. So people had extended vacations. But let's see. Let me give you the quick rundown real fast. Let you know what I'm going to be talking about and proceeding. So we got a little bit of FCC. We got a little bit of 5G. Some partnerships going on between T-Mobile and Verizon, which is very surprising. A lot of T-Mobile news this week. So we're going to be talking about that. Starlink, Qualcomm, x86 and ARM in general, Samsung, and Apple. So let's see. We're going to start with the FCC. So if you haven't heard the news already, I'll give you the quick rundown of what's going down. Let's see here. Come on, pull it up. Pull it up. So we'll give you the quick rundown real fast. The FCC wants to force carriers to unlock phones within 60 days. Now, me and No Radio, aka Aries, had talked about this subject a couple weeks ago, and there's some pros and some cons about this. So the pros are that you get your phone unlocked, you could try out other devices, but you could try out other carriers, different things of the sort. But the cons are a major backlash for the carriers themselves. So it's kind of like whatever they give it, whatever is forced upon them, they go a 180-degree response in response to it back. So this is actually a good step forward due to the fact of my own problems that I had with T-Mobile. And I wanted to try out Verizon, AT&T on my iPhone. So I'm, buckled down, bought a new iPhone, and it's, I bought it through T-Mobile. Well, the problem is T-Mobile doesn't unlock iPhones because iPhones are hard locked. And once they unlock it, they have no control over it. AKA, if I decide to run off with the phone is unlocked, and then T-Mobile is lost out on investment in me paying off the device, which is one of the reasons why locking phones to carriers was such a big thing. And then Verizon got caught up into trying to get new spectrum, which caused them to agree to certain conditions. So we obviously know Verizon was not part of this decision. They're like, ha, the more the merrier. Come on into the pot. So with that being said, now AT&T and T-Mobile are being dragged into this, and that it's going to be very interesting because now that all three are going to be forced to do this, Verizon's already been on the ship. T-Mobile and AT&T are the only two that was technically left that was out there on the shore waving by, and then all of a sudden they got dragged into the water too. So this is going to be very interesting to see the movement and what they're planning on doing. Speed Tech.
Hello.
Hello, sir. I ain't heard from you in a while.
Yes. Been busy.
Yeah, you went from 2 wheels to 4 wheels. I ain't heard from you since.
Yeah, I just got home from IKEA. So. Yeah.
Man, when you was on that scooter, you had a range. Now, the range is whatever you have in your pocket.
Yeah. Just like gas.
Oh, hey, welcome to the gasoline world, sir. I gave up on that a long time ago.
Man, it's pretty decent, man. I've seen, or at least searched up on Google, that the thing gets at least 21 to 29 miles per gallon, which is pretty good.
Oh, that's if you're doing you're keeping your upkeep. You got to keep the upkeep on it. I mean, flushes, gas treatment, whole slew of stuff, man. Only thing you had to worry about was replacing the rubber on your tires.
Literally.
Oh, the scooter.
Yeah. I'm glad.
But no,
much.
So hey, I want to ask you this question. So you jump right into the middle. The FCC wants to force carriers to unlock phones within 60 days. How do you feel about this?
I feel like it's good and bad.
Well, obviously, me and Aries, we talked about the bad, but what do you see as being good?
Good that people can use their phones now after being unlocked on any carrier if they wanted to. Like, they can have the two carriers both on their phone if they decide to get two eSIMs or one eSIM and a physical card.
Right.
Which is pretty good, if you ask me. I mean, what I say is bad is I guess from a company perspective, you can't lock your phones anymore and keep them on the company like that.
No, but here's the thing. There's reasons for this, right? Like the reason why the phones are locked to the carriers is because the carriers want to have you come to the store. They want to keep you on their platform, right? Well, if there's nothing that really keeps you on the platform, what are they going to do that's going to differentiate themselves from their competitors now? Like, phone deals used to be the thing. You go to this carrier because this phone they had better phone deals than the other carrier, or now it's like, yo, you know what? It don't really matter because if I don't like you anyway, the carrier could just buy you out of your contract and be like, hey, look, how much you owe on your phone? All right, cool. We'll just pay off the rest.
See, but the thing is, I see possible, like, I don't know. I guess I would see like more fraud in that situation. Not gonna lie.
See, I was trying to stay away from the fraud. I was really trying to stay away from the fraud.
I just see it happening a lot more.
Well, now this is the con. This is the con side. So me and Aries, we were talking about this a couple weeks ago. And what you're going to end up seeing is all three carriers are going to start working together.
They do, and that's good.
No, they don't currently right now. Like underneath the current regime, they don't work together. So like let's say that you have a phone and your phone is on Verizon. And if after Verizon, after 60 days, you don't pay your bill on Verizon no more,
It only gets
you
blacklisted on Verizon.
it
I know.
only gets blacklisted on Verizon. You can go over to AT&T and T-Mobile and pop a SIM card in or get an eSIM, and it will still work.
See,
Now,
that's what I'm
now here's the
saying.
thing:
Fraud might
what's
go
going to
on.
happen? Yeah, so what's going to happen when all three carriers are forced to do this, and you don't think these carriers are going to start working together?
Mhm.
They're going to look and say, "Hey, look, you know what? You blacklisted on AT&T and Verizon. Nah, you can't bring it over here
Yeah, like
because
well, once they see it happening more, that's when they're gonna realize we have to lock down our systems because right now they don't seem that much intrigued in it.
they put it like this: you you're going if from a carrier point of view, right? You're
Hmm.
going to want to play nice because you're going to want them to do the same thing for you. So the second like AT&T doesn't help T-Mobile out, then T-Mobile's not going to help AT&T and vice versa for Verizon. So then it's kind of like the Wild Wild West all over again, but then they don't benefit from locking down the whole system. And then even consumers can just bounce around all day. The whole problem is they expect you to kind of pay your bill. They want to lock you into some type of thing. So there's no if you take away how can I say it? If you take away the incentive to be loyal, then people will just randomly leave,
Yeah,
right? You know, if there's no loyalty in the system, then you can't get your bills paid, which means that guess what's going to happen? The carriers are going to offer crappier phones because they know that you could just leave. They're gonna be like, "Yo, no, you bring your own phone. You insure your own phone. You do all this stuff on yourself. We'll just provide you service."
and I wouldn't be surprised if that deal that you if you haven't paid off your phone and you bring it to T-Mobile and you get the $800 or whatever, I wouldn't be surprised if that goes away soon.
Well, I think that they will still go back and forth, but it would have to go through some type of tiered system like that for you to leave, right? It will be like look at it from the standpoint, right? If you're on Verizon and then you go after your 60 days, but you're still paying on the phone, T-Mobile goes, "Hey, do you still owe money to Verizon? We will pay off your phone and you can bring it over here because it's still going to have to be unlocked anyway. So only thing they're doing is paying off the phone, but they can only offer that if AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile all work together.
No,
Because T-Mobile's not going to offer you $800 for the rest of your phone pay off to bring you over for like bill credits or whatever, and then you turn around and go, "Yeah, I don't feel comfortable over here. I'm gonna go to AT&T now."
but if their phone is unlocked already, then
Well, to see that's what I'm saying. The phone's going to be already unlocked.
yeah,
The only way you prevent them from all locking you down is you keep making your payments. And that's kind of what I see is going to end up happening. We're going to end up getting like the super blacklist.
yeah, there's gonna be a new system definitely.
Oh, there's going to be a new system. If they, especially if they can't figure out a way to stop this from happening, and understand from a consumer standpoint, I would prefer this to be because I wanted to try out Verizon and AT&T on my iPhone, but T-Mobile wouldn't unlock the phone because once the phone is unlocked on the iPhone, guess what? It's
It's
completely
always
unlocked.
unlocked,
It's always unlocked.
which Keon, I did that. After like the
Hey, look.
6 days, I went in. I was like, I want to unlock my phone. I did it, and they let me before they
See,
changed the rules of it.
I got in late, man. I called them up. I was like, "Yeah, I'm going out of the country," and they're like, "Oh, okay," and they never did it. And then it took somebody like just being honest, like, "Yeah, we don't unlock iPhones." They said they could do Android phones because they could just relock it, which that might be something that they might end up exploring too with Apple, which is relocking the phone.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they try to find a way to do that.
So the phone stays unlocked as long as you're paying on it, but as soon as you miss payments and everything, they relock the phone before the service is taken away from it.
Yeah, I think it's more benefiting to do that because I feel like if people did have the carriers blacklisted here, they would just take it internationally and then they would just automatically just get service back on it or sell it
Yeah,
internationally for other people to use.
that's true, but here's the thing. I mean, you the person wouldn't be able to buy another phone because if you're blacklisted on all three, because it's not just the phone that'll get blacklisted, but your account, your name is going to get blacklisted. I mean, you only get three chances. You're going to be Verizon, AT&T, or T-Mobile. That's the major carriers. If not, you're going to be relocated to MVNOs.
I mean, but you do know not everyone's using their personal information to open an account sometimes.
True, true. I'm just saying that if you want to be a nefarious actor, I mean, you're not going to be able to get away with it for very long.
Yeah, I mean, they got a point. Oh well,
But
I hope they find out a way to do whatever they do to actually not allow that type of stuff though.
yeah, I mean, I think that this is kind of what you call a blessing and a curse. I didn't have any issues per se with the old system because I bought a lot of my phones from directly from Samsung. Or the only phone that I bought recently, and that was almost 2 years ago, was the iPhone, and I bought that through T-Mobile. And I very rarely use that. I very rarely use my iPhone.
Oh,
I mean, pretty much I only use it to record my videos for YouTube, but that's all I use it for. I don't. My wife might call me on it just to be playing around, but
mhm.
and even then, like right now, I'm looking to take that phone number off of that phone and put it on another phone anyway. So
Yeah, I mean, Samsungs are better to test on. So you got the band selection or whatever and see what is going on. You also got the service menu to see what bands you're connected to. So
that's true. But here's the
it's much
thing,
better.
like what was it? The beta testing for the iPhone revealed that the service menu was getting better on the iPhone.
Did you get it already? Or no?
No. Hey, a couple of people within our group was playing around with it, and they showed it, and it looked. I mean, it was showing real time data, but
Yeah, it is.
they did this the last time on another beta too. So
I actually have the beta and I did play around with it and it was fairly good. It was not the best because what's funny about that system is that when 5G pops up and the megahertz loads into the field test,
uh huh.
so like let's just say 190 megahertz of N41, the bottom where the LTE is or the frequency like band 66 also will change to 160 megahertz out of the middle of nowhere. So like it's not like completely well made. It does update at least real time for the RSRP value, which I did enjoy, where I obviously
Ah,
liked, which is a lot better than what we previously had, obviously.
right.
But yeah, it still needs work. I'll probably show you like once the stream ends because they also what I did hate about it is that they put the phone number on there. So now like you have to be careful not taking a screenshot or a video
See,
and sending it to the wrong person.
right.
So
You're gonna have you gotta take a screenshot and then have some type of editing software to scratch out your phone number. Uh,
yeah,
but it makes it where sharing is not gonna be for as a forefront. And for me, I do share my that data online a lot, like showing where I'm, what tower I'm connected to, what
yeah,
the RSRP value is. I show that information a lot because the thing is some people in the community, in like the especially like in the tower hunting community, if you download the app, what is it? What's the name of that app? What is it? It's for towers.
the
The tower location app. I forget the name of it.
sound mapper.
Yeah, Cell Mapper. Like for Cell Mapper, it's not 100% accurate, and the only way you can really truly be 100% accurate, and you want to really know, is you need to look at the RSRP value while you're moving around, so you know that that's the tower you're heading towards.
Yeah,
And you can
some
tell that by the RSRP value as it starts dropping. Like you be at a negative 110, and all of a sudden it goes to negative 74 for like whatever cell band that you're connected to. You can go, okay, that's Verizon, or okay, Verizon and AT&T on this tower.
some is pretty accurate when it comes to that, though. Well, at least for me, I'm not sure why. For you,
I
it's
mean, if
different.
I came to Atlanta, you have already remapped Atlanta 10 times.
Well, that is true. The whole map is green.
And look, I haven't fired it up as often as I would like to, because I've been on the roads from time to time, and being moving around like that, it kind of makes I got to pay attention to driving more than I have to do trying to satisfy the urge of speed testing.
Yeah, if you can open it every once in a while, and you get a good amount of info, I could probably go and map it for you.
Right, right. I know. I gotta do another. I gotta let my phones run in the next couple weeks. Cause I'm gonna remap DC again and record it so I can put it on YouTube. So that's just something I've been preparing to do again. I think that AT&T put a new cell site in the middle of the mall or close to it, because they had their cell coverage was very lacking. That being that they got the government contracts, and you terrible right at the monuments.
Hmm,
How
interesting.
you terrible at the monuments and you supposed to be the government? You supposed to be the government de facto contractor. Yeah. I mean that was just looking kind of bad. But I got another story here. So let's see here. Sticking with the whole cellular side. So why 5G mobile core forecasting keeps slipping. So within this article, and this is on from Light Reading, they're talking about the adoption for 5G like standalone is not as prevalent as they first thought it was going to end up being. So I mean, you probably seen it in your testing. I know I've noticed it where Verizon, AT&T are more non-standalone operating.
It,
T-Mobile is standalone. I don't know if you probably got voice over NR yet, but uh, Master Mobile Tech in Florida said he encountered standalone and voice over NR for T-Mobile in his area. So T-Mobile, it looks like they're trying to migrate everything over to a standalone core, but they're the only ones actively in the United States besides Dish that's actually doing it.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's not really a high bit rate. I don't know if the one R actually has it like that. I
Yeah,
don't.
but are you talking about like higher bit rate for audio?
Yeah, there's no higher bit rate on the call.
No, you're not going to. I mean, understand that the bit rate on the call is going to probably be like 13 to 14 kilobits per second, because that's all it really needs for voice.
It's 13.2, but Dish actually has a higher bit rate.
Yeah, I mean that's them wanting to be the oddball in the bunch, but that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, as long as it goes, I mean, they're pretty much the only ones that actually can run standalone right now, especially since they have
And here's
more
the thing,
compatible towers.
I think that probably one of the reasons why you see them do something different is because they don't have to do legacy hardware into 4G, but they also have a problem handing off from 5G to 4G.
It's really any carrier going from a different core from one core
Well,
to another.
I mean, from what I've heard people say is like the call would just completely drop, right? And normally, if you're handing back off on dish from a 5G core to a 4G core, the phone call just disconnects completely, and then you got to re-engage the phone call again to get a connection. And that could be the fact that one, the cores are not compatible with each other. Number two, the bit rates are so different that drastically changing the bit rate are not compatible with each other. So there's different little things that we don't know.
I don't know how it would work or how it does with the handoff,
But it's important. It's important to be able to hand off because you're going to have places where you're going to have 4G, and for Dish, it's more important than ever for them because their network is the smallest.
I mean, this doesn't have LP, so it wouldn't make any sense to have that handoff because you're literally handing off from one company to another, which is a whole different
Right.
system. So it wouldn't make sense, or it wouldn't make sense for them to push that out right now until they actually get the next generation of networking. Once we
Well,
push out the
okay,
next generation of networking. In other words,
so here's the thing: within the 3GPP standard, let me make sure I say it right, or I'm gonna get grilled. So within the standard, it allows for different cores to be on different other companies' infrastructure. So in theory, this is in theory, right? You're supposed to be able to Dish will be able to run their core inside of AT&T's core. That's in theory. But here's the thing: if AT&T is not adopting a 5G core, then you have to wait around for them to finally catch up to you.
I mean, did you not have? I think people say they have standalone active for the AT&T in some places, but like,
I have yet to see it. Now, granted, I'm not in these other places of the country yet, but I have yet to see AT&T go standalone.
I know PA said that he had standalone up there, but like, uh, it routed to the core in Atlanta, which is funny to me that I don't have standalone here at all.
Right.
Like, even like on the iPhone, you would see SA plus NSA if you have a capable tower to run standalone on, but for some reason that went away, and now I don't have any icon saying SA at all. So like my towers, who are also for Verizon, they don't have like standalone broadcasting. I don't know what's going on here.
Right. I mean, here's the thing: the problem is AT&T and Verizon are a lot more restrictive when it comes to tinkering with your phone. So it makes it harder to find out. When T-Mobile was playing around with their standalone, one of the things that I did as I was driving around to see their progress was I turned off all 4G and only made it 5G
Yeah.
standalone, right? But on AT&T and Verizon, you can't do that. You could barely see the service menu. They block the ability to change the cell bands altogether, and there's no way of really truly seeing if they're in standalone unless you actually catch it and you see it in real time. And I have yet to see it in real time. Like me driving down the road and with the service menu open, I've never seen AT&T in standalone. I know Verizon's not going to be in standalone anytime soon because it's just the way they've been deploying.
The most you can do to see if standalone at least is broadcasting there, just select standalone bands on the service menu for T-Mobile, and then just go to the network selection screen and see what pops up there, because that's the only way you're going to find out to see what standalone is being broadcasted there.
Yeah, but see that's easier for T-Mobile because T-Mobile's firmware on the phone will let you choose. They haven't locked it down through their firmware. AT&T and Verizon doesn't let you.
They don't, but I mean, there's You can get around it sometimes.
There's some workarounds which requires me to have an extra phone line, but
Yeah, that
I have yet to be able to do it on AT&T without having like my eSIM installed at the same time.
yeah, and AT&T would be the only one that you need to install a different SIM to get that service menu back in, or for it to change the CSC to like T1 or something. But if you run the Verizon by itself, there is a program that allows you to unlock that menu for the 73.
Yeah, I have yet to go down that rabbit hole yet. My phone, look, I still, technically speaking, I still use my phones for work, and until I get to the place where I can experiment like that, I don't like to. Look, I will do the cheesy hack, but I won't do like the software hack yet.
It's not software hacking. It is a software that you put on the Windows computer, but it just unlocks the menu. It doesn't do anything to the phone itself. It doesn't install any software or anything at all.
Right.
I did it
I
on
might. I'm probably gonna end up getting around to it because I know they're gonna. I know that they're gonna eventually get ready to try to get rid of it because Verizon being the secretive of the three, I feel like they're gonna push the issue, and my YouTube channel revolves around me showing the service menu.
Yeah.
Because the thing is I want to know what the signal strength is. I want to know what bands they're using, and Verizon is the only one that of the three that's more secretive than the other two.
Yeah, so the only thing about that is though, it doesn't unlock that band selection menu by itself. I mean, it still unlocks either way with the other way. So like the program, what it does is it unlocks the 73 menu, which is kind of like the developer version, you could say, or the mess around tinker. And if you delete something, that's on you.
the F around and find out menu.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, you can delete your millimeter.
No.
You can delete your millimeter wave card on there, and I hope you try to get it back eventually. But
Yeah, that's not. Look, I don't go that deep.
yeah,
Hey, look, my biggest thing, especially right now, has been how fast are the carriers moving towards full standalone deployment. And like right now, I think that we're not going to really see much. T-Mobile is the only one, and then they've slowed down.
yeah,
Even T-Mobile could drastically slow down their 5G, like moving towards standalone 5G, because they're so far ahead of the other two. They're like, yo, we introduce something new. It's not gonna be as impactful.
yeah. They're really ahead. At least my market, like there was probably like they're here. There's at least probably like 10 small cells missing to be converted from Nokia to Ericsson. Like there's literally nothing to do here anymore.
Right.
The only thing you can really do is decommission Sprint sites and or add coverage. That's all you can do here.
Well, hey, look, I wish I can have a chance to drive around Atlanta and see what the network looked like, because here's the thing. From what I can tell, and I'm getting ready to do three more tests. I got to do three more test runs again with my cellular lines in DC. And from what I can see, I mean, Verizon has N77 here, but like I said, it's not standalone. AT&T is running N66 in more places, but it's not standalone.
Wait, it's not standalone?
The only one, yeah, it's not standalone. So it's N66, N5 for AT&T. It's N5 and N77 for Verizon, and then on top of that, you get like for AT&T, you might end up seeing like N77 for like the DoD side and N77 for the C-band side. So you might see them interchange from time to time, but AT&T got so many cell bands, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's
But not they're not moving to standalone.
that's
That means
weird because you mentioned N66. It's on Cell Mapper. I mapped N66 also for AT&T, but it was only on standalones. So I was locked off while I was mapping. So let's just say when I used to map Dish back then, which was literally last year on October, September, I'm not sure, somewhere around there. I would force my Samsung to connect to the Dish network so I could, like put down the cells or the cell IDs around
Right.
cell mapper. It turns out that random times it would connect to AT&T for the standalone side of theirs, but it's not visible. Like the PLMN, it's not visible at all. The service menu, you can't see anything. The service menu doesn't show you anything, but it was mapping it, which is really weird.
Hey, look, I wish you could show me some screenshots. So, because like I said, it could be Atlanta is seeing AT&T standalone a lot sooner, different other places, but the DC metro region, I haven't seen it yet. But like I said, here's the problem. Here lies the problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
The customer doesn't know what 5G they're on unless you're being a super nerd like us and going into the weeds. So because there's not a whole bunch of people like you and I that sit up here and check them every 5 days, then they can run the phone in non-standalone or standalone, and you would never know the difference. The only time you will really have to know the difference is whatever app you're using has to be like sensitive to major lag.
Oh,
And we're talking about like major lag going from like 2 or 3 milliseconds to like 20, and you be like, "Ooh, that's a lag," or you going from 20 to 100.
well, but there's also the problem where the people will make the mistake of thinking they have the 5G icon at the top, but there's actually no 5G connected to their phone. Because for here where I live with Verizon, it will show R15 upper layer support, I think it was. It will show that, and that enables the 5G icon to trigger, even though I don't have any NR connected. So that will be another thing that most
Right.
people won't realize.
Well, I mean, it's just kind of one of those things where, like, me personally, I wanted to see more. I wanted to see the technology to get flushed out more, and then like the 5G, the 3G, I can't even say the word. 3 more capabilities, and then now we're talking about 5G advanced as the next like standard being pushed. We're not going. We haven't even got out of just 5G core yet. Just implementing a 5G core yet, and we're all like the standard is already lapping cell companies. They're falling behind again.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like T-Mobile would be able to pull it off, but I mean, there's no necessary situation where they don't got any competition either. So
well, here's the thing, like you could tell that they were ready to fire up like standalone voice, like in what was it in 2022? Because when Verizon was getting their finally getting their full spectrum and was able to start deploying N77, they were like, yo, they were ready. Like, oh yeah, we're voice over NR ready now. And then with the whole FCC thing happened, and all the kibosh just kind of went away. Which means they were sitting around waiting to like every single time Verizon has a milestone, we're gonna have a milestone. That's what it looked like they were going to do. Oh, you're just now deploying your N77? We're already doing voice over NR. That's what they looked like they were going to start doing. And then when Verizon had the whole debacle with the FCC, they held back.
yeah, I kind of feel like the markets where they deployed a lot of millimeter wave is the one that they got affected the most.
Yeah, well,
with this, because it feels like they're trying. I mean, I do see millimeter wave still being put up here, which is pretty stupidly like made because you're putting them in neighborhoods where like nobody passes through.
Well, here's the thing. It
Random
comes
roads.
down. I feel that until millimeter, and I've always said this, until millimeter wave goes standalone, is not a fruitful adventure to go down. Verizon's stuck into that mode because they stuck themselves in that mode. And nobody else is with them. You know, the millimeter wave, the number of problems that you have to overcome with the technology, it doesn't bode well for what you're trying to do. So like even AT&T is not going to deploy a whole bunch of millimeter wave because they haven't even started deploying half the spectrum they already have. And then T-Mobile is like, yo, we can just stick N41 small cells up and it will work the same.
You mean it will work
Have
better?
you seen an N41 small cell? It looks just like a cell tower antenna.
The N41 small cell? What
Yeah,
ones are you talking
I don't
about?
know
The
if it's
Nokia ones?
Nokia, but I've seen them, and basically they look just. It almost look like they just took a cell tower antenna and just brought it down to
No,
street level.
they do not do that here.
Well, here in DC they did that, and it is like a lot of them are just pointed directly at whatever they're trying to point it at. They're directional, like so
Interesting.
they don't even like. It's not like how it's in a cantina, like a can, and pointing in 3 different sectors. No, they basically like, yo, this is a problem area, pointing at that spot.
That's a different approach, I guess. I mean,
That's a very different approach.
Over here they're using the existing LTE equipment and they're just putting in what it needs to change what it and frequency and whatever, and they just fire it up the way it is and it works well.
But that's what, like, because the carriers can play in this whole realm of standalone / non-standalone. Here's the thing: you could have a 5G core and still only deploy in non-standalone. That means that you don't like the movement to 5G is going to be stagnant all over again. They gave them the ability to kind of pick and choose. T-Mobile was the only one that's ahead, and we're beyond, for a 2-year head start. I mean, technically speaking, I mean, you can't look at your phone and say, "Oh man, this is 5G" without digging into the weeds. So you really don't know the difference. The only way you really know the difference was the carrier of choice that you had. Did they work good in the spot that you're in, and did the other one work good in another spot?
Yeah,
that's the only difference you can see.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, I just think that our progress in this 5G realm is not going to be as fast as we first thought it was going to be. The first 4 years was exciting. You heard about new towers going up. Cell mapper was burning, was literally on fire. Small cells were going up crazy fast. But now,
and they still haven't taken out the feature to actually change it to a small cell, which is pretty disappointing on it.
Yeah,
it will
that's
take
what I'm saying. It's not gonna 5G. I feel like and I hate to say it, as somebody who's excited about technology, is that we're not going to see major leaps and bounds in 5G, even though the phones are capable of doing it. Like my phone, like I have all my phones are capable of being on a 5G, standalone core, making 5G standalone phone calls, but they're just not pushing it.
Yeah, it's annoying, but oh well.
Yeah,
Whatever
I hate
the
it.
company does.
I hate it.
I mean, let me show you this real quick also on Cell Mapper so you can see the range of the N41 small cells here.
Okay. Go ahead and do that, and I'll give you a chance to queue up the next
all right
story.
So when you look at the range on here, let's just say this one, for example, right here. Look at how much ground it can cover
Oh yeah.
compared to millimeter wave. Let's see this one right here, for example. You got that. It's almost like two. Some of them can extend pretty far.
Whoa. Okay. So let me ask this question: the area that you're showing, are these like multiple story homes, or is it more like, I would say, single family homes?
These are usually multiple story, most of them. Literally, this is the housing area right here, as you notice. And this small cell that's located, Krispy Kreme. The small cell's like right here where I'm pointing my mouse, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And this is how much ground it's covering in this little block right here.
Mm.
They did actually, they co-located on a small cell with Verizon right here. If I'm not wrong, if I can find the E and B that correlates that one. That used to be a Verizon only small cell. They co-located. Here, I can show you the more sophisticated version of it.
Uh,
You see what small cells are around. All the small cells that start with 2 or 4, those are the ones that are upgraded to the newest technology. You can see Verizon on here, 13 small cells. Nothing is 5G ready here except the cell towers.
so
That's it.
the macro towers are 5G, right?
Yeah, that from here. So now I'm only stuck on N77 160 megahertz.
They're
Like,
not. They're not doing a full. They're not doing
yeah,
a
they're
full
doing
100
160.
megahertz. Okay.
So that's good for them for that one. But 5G coverage, I mean, they're still pretty much lacking. If you notice, like, I have my phones running cell map for a lot. I've been in this area specifically going in circles, as you know, on my scooter.
Yeah.
And you can see there's no 5G traces because you can't get it to connect here.
Oh no.
This area right here, as you notice, there's those little trails. You can see it connects a little bit right there, but literally the small cells will literally knock you off the 5G side and they'll put you right back on LTE. So like
Mm.
it's very questionable what they're gonna do. The park right here, no 5G at all either.
So would you say that right now is your phones favoring, N77 more, or is it favoring it less? Because it would be weird for it to favor less.
NR in general is it's just going for LTE now. Let's just say it that way. Like
It's what, like band 2, band 66?
usually band 2 or band 13.
Oh wow.
Because I mean, if you notice, that's like the only thing running half of the time. Yeah, we'll connect the 66, but band 2 is usually the strongest one, as you notice right here. That one didn't load in band 2, but most of them that's band 2 usually connects better than 66 somehow. What
Is do you know how much megahertz you have access to on band 2? What is it, like
band
5, 10, 15, 20?
I know for T-Mobile, it's only 10 megahertz because they lowered it down once they switched it to N25. Verizon, yeah, it's 10 megahertz too.
Okay.
And it looks like the band, oh, so I'm connected to the band 5 right now, which I think that was the spectrum that was on N5 before. It's 10 megahertz, and band 66 has a 20 and a 10 block.
Okay.
So it's fairly decent. I mean, T-Mobile only has, I think, 25 on 66.
But here's the thing: are you more on standalone on T-Mobile in the same footprint that you are in Verizon, where they're doing non-standalone?
No, I have way more access to standalone here than Verizon 5G at all.
Yeah, because that's what I'm just curious about is Verizon's pace.
Here, look at
And I think I think that they're putting N77 up. Like that's not a question. That's never really been what the ultimate question is unlocking all the little features from being on 5G. We have yet to be able to do that yet. You to be able to do it, you need to be 5G standalone. You need to be able to make phone calls on 5G, but we're not doing that yet. Nobody's doing it yet, and T-Mobile is doing it in little pockets. You know, what was it? The last place like I said, the last place I heard was Florida, and I think that was Ocala in Orlando area. Then the other place that was publicly announced was Colorado.
I don't know. I feel like if they were gonna release standalone Verizon in general, I don't see them doing too well with it, with what they have right now.
I wouldn't necessarily say they won't do good with it. It's just I think that the urgency to be able to do it is not there. And I don't think that T-Mobile is urgent about doing it because it's the same. It's the same exact problem that I saw when T-Mobile first introduced N41 to everybody. You know, the first when the N41 was brought up, like you went from 20, 30 megabits per second to 300, right? And then they went from
Yeah,
300
but
to 600, and then everybody was like, "Man, that's a lot of spectrum on air, and you're only getting 600 megabits per second." And I'm like, "But they don't have to turn it up.
yeah,
Like
but I mean,
your
the
competitor is
the
not
problem,
your competitor is not doing, but 20 or 30 megabits per second. Why are you going? You going to just turn it all the way up just so because you want to waste data, which
is that the problem? The problem that I see about it is that they don't have no low band active or any other band apart from N77 on right now in a few markets.
um,
So I feel like they would not, like, as soon as you leave the N77 boundary, which I know that it doesn't go really that far,
yeah.
uh you're gonna drop down to LT automatically, no
You know
matter
what?
what
I
you
wanna
see it.
I wanna see. Hold on. I want to see what the spectrum situation looked like for you in Atlanta. Hold on. So operator Verizon. Let's see, 700 ATL shorty, ATL shorty. All right, so Atlanta, right here, people. So lower, lower. All right, so they got obviously that is the whole country, but we're just focusing on Atlanta. That is the upper block of 700.
Mhm.
Here's the 800. So they have spectrum in the 800. So that means they got double low band in your
But they
region.
just haven't deployed it. Typical them.
Let's see. That's the biggest curious thing for me is it's just that I'm expecting more out of Verizon, but I'm not seeing more, and that's kind of like my biggest gripe with them is like everybody kept telling me how great they are, but I'm not seeing the greatness yet. I'm seeing mediocre, like barely get it done. I know
Yeah,
that somebody probably gonna rip me in the comments, but I mean that's what I'm seeing myself.
I don't see much different either. It's pretty boring what they're doing. There's small cells haven't been changed since they have been there. We're stuck on LTE old generation networking still. in half of the places.
True.
I also kind of hate how, like, as soon as you go out of the city, you automatically are forced on LTE no matter what.
Well, hey, here's the thing. When you to do more outside of those areas, I mean, it's gonna cost, it's more investment. And I like, my sneaking suspicion is is that Verizon's not dominant in Atlanta.
Mm, I mean, yeah, I mean, I've traveled or I've gone traveling at least to Destin, Florida, that which was one good of example that I was stuck on LTE at least 60% of the trip, and I
Right.
still passed by Birmingham and all these other places, but I think it was Birmingham. Let me see. Let me check. Was it Montgomery? Yeah, it was Birmingham. I passed by there. And Montgomery was the other one that I passed. But as soon as I went outside of those cities too, they were automatic LT. Which, funny enough, when you're going to Montgomery to Destin, Florida, don't expect your Verizon data to work. It works horrible. I'm mentioning it on here. You might as well get a brick phone. I don't know.
Hey, look. Hey, here's the thing. I just think that, we're just, because we're starting to pay attention more, we're starting to see the gaps, right? And that's kind of something that Aries had said, which was, now that you're paying attention more to what's going on, you're starting to see, oh, so you're struggling too. And obviously there must be something about this building or this spot or something about this location all three carriers act up in. You know what I
Uh,
mean?
it still
Like,
doesn't make sense that Verizon has had a good amount of time to do stuff already, and they still haven't like proceeded forward with what they're doing. Like, I have not seen any N77 upgrades from the ones that they already have currently
well,
ever. Like,
but you also have to look at it from this standpoint. People were not leaving Verizon because of coverage. Coverage wasn't the problem. It was price.
mm-hmm.
People were leaving them because of how much Verizon wanted to charge them. They won't leave them because they make that left turn and all of a sudden they lose signal. They're like, yo, Verizon works everything everywhere else. I'm good. Like, the price was the problem. And as you can see, T-Mobile is, having to raise their rates. Has been like getting everything from all their customers now. And I'm like, quit crying.
Yeah,
That's kind of where I stand at. But hey, look, here, let's move on to this next one. Where T-Mobile and Verizon actually are ganging up against AT&T.
oh yeah. Before we look at that, all I'm gonna say, I'm glad I've never paid for a Verizon service except for Visible Plus. That's all.
Hey man,
Not worth the bank.
it's a little pricey. I admit it's a little pricey, but hey, the service is reliable. I mean, I'm able to use it.
No,
It's reliable. All right, so here we go.
where it works, definitely is.
All right, so T-Mobile and Verizon unite to prevent AT&T from getting more free airwaves for first responders. So, if you're not quite sure about what the first responder network is, AT&T was chosen for the government agency of first responder. And basically, first responders, what it does is it gives them priority access on a network whenever there's like crisis or something, some type of emergency. And this is a extra layer to what AT&T offers. And Verizon and T-Mobile are like, no, don't give them any more spectrum because it tilts the weight of power in more into AT&T's favor. So my take on it is this, especially when it came to the first responder contract, was The government chose AT&T because they were AT&T. They didn't choose AT&T because they were capable. I think they just looked and was like, yo, we got to give it to somebody. AT&T's been a partner of ours for many, many moons. Let's give it to them. You know what I mean? Because of what AT&T has been doing. I mean, they pretty much utilize upgrading their towers with government money. They didn't go around and upgrade their towers and go back and put the band 14 up that they got from the government. They were like, yo, since the government's paying for these upgrades, guess what? We could just, have them fit the bill. Quote unquote, they did what they called the one touch policy.
Yeah.
And then basically, like, look at it like this from this standpoint. You go into an all-you-eat place, but you don't get charged but for one person, but you end up finding a way to get 10 people in.
Yep.
That's pretty much what AT&T did. Was like, yo, I'm done. Take this ticket.
Yeah, no, they're
and the person's like, yo, you're a different person. And they're like, no, I have the same ticket. See, I have to take it.
Whatever they do, man.
But so here's the thing, like, my thoughts on the whole first responders should have been a open market deployment, right? Given you were going to have run into a problem when you chose one of the three to do this, because now the other two are going to do everything they can to keep AT&T from making the first responder better. They want to give it more spectrum to give it more priority. But AT&T's like, yes, we would love for you to give us more spectrum. And Verizon, AT&T's like, no, and no. We don't care. We let the forest burn. We don't want them to have nothing.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense for them to get it, especially. I think they're attacking more too because, like, I know at least Verizon wants it because they're like past since the start of the year, basically.
Well, you know what? Okay, so here's the thing. Because government, and this is me not being political, but this is just being noticed, and like this is what go take when it comes to technology. Okay, anybody that wants to do some deep dives, did you know that the missile silos are still on like dot matrix computers? Like, they're not tied to the internet, and you can't, like, there's nobody that let's put it to you like this: there's nobody alive that knows how to hack those systems because they're not even tied to the internet. They're not tied to any network.
Yeah.
For them to launch a missile or even open the doors for the missile to open, they got to use a floppy disk.
Yeah, exactly.
This is how ancient the technology they're using, and this is like, the government has money. There's your money and then there's government money, and understand the government money can afford the good stuff. They just choose not to. So the whole problem is that AT&T, giving AT&T the first responder contract is just an old man thinking like, well, we have to have this thing. Somebody has to do it. Instead of going, you know what? Let's have all three carriers have a first responder contract, and we can build it up from there. So when AT&T or T-Mobile or Verizon, any one of the three has a bad day, like all of a sudden your network starts working and we can't make phone calls and call 911. It doesn't affect the whole, it doesn't affect everybody. You see what I'm saying? Which we end up having that problem this past Friday. So a lot of people got stranded at airports because the internet decided to take a poo.
Yep. Well, not the internet. I mean,
It was
CrowdStrike.
anything. It was anything that was connected to Windows.
Yeah, but it was only if it had that program that CrowdStrike program from what it looks like.
Yeah. So,
It literally took down everything that had to do with that.
but that's the problem is putting all your eggs in one basket. When you have a failure, you have a catastrophic failure.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So, if anything, that should teach you to have redundancies. And you have two other networks right along with AT&T as redundancies. So, if you want to free up spectrum for all three carriers to use, that way you keep the balance of power the same.
Yeah,
If the
especially since they
government,
all just want to get into it too. The first responder, they want to get more into the contracts and whatever.
yeah. I mean, here's the thing: even T-Mobile and Verizon have their own first responder type deals because they want to show the government, hey, look, we can do our own also.
Yeah.
So it's just going to be interesting to finally see if they end up utilizing all three carriers, or they're going to still stick with this good old boy network and be like, well, AT&T's been with us since the 30s. I guess we'll still keep with them.
Yeah.
That's what I'm curious to find out. Hold on. Let's see. I got one more T-Mobile story to talk about. I wanted to update people on because this one might have flew underneath the radar for some people.
Mhm.
Here we go. All right, so T-Mobile plans to acquire MetroNet. So
What's that? Never heard of
MetroNet,
it.
and I had to go and look them up also. So you ain't the only one. But MetroNet is a fiber company provider.
Oh wow.
T-Mobile is on a
I'm seeing that right now.
fiber hunt.
Not surprised.
So this company is based out of like the Midwest area. They have some East Coast ties, but primarily a large chunk of their footprint is Midwest, which is something I've thought about because when they was going after Lumos was East Coast, and I was like, well, who's going to be next in the Midwest? Well, MetroNet is the next one that's coming down the pipeline. So they're trying to acquire through a joint venture with a company. What's the company name? Where's that? KK&R. So right here. So KK&R, they're doing a joint venture with them to acquire MetroNet. And basically, just like Lumos, they offer direct to home service. Now, what is it? Currently, they serve about 2 million customers. So here's the line right here. Come on. So they serve 2 million customers over 300 communities in 17 states. Some markets get up to 5 gig speeds, but expanding its presence in some areas. So MetroNet is also in Vegas.
Yeah, the pricing
So I
doesn't
can see,
seem bad from what I'm looking at.
yeah. So let me pull up their website. Give me a second.
I just put some random address in there, and it's saying that the gig speed is actually $50 a month, which is very decent for what it is. I mean, AT&T for 55 a month is doing 300, I think.
Yep. All right.
So yeah, the speeds are good.
So this is the areas that they operate in. Now here's the thing: don't look at how crazy this is. If you see the upper Midwest, guess who operates in that upper Midwest? U.S. Sailor. Look, North Carolina,
Mm,
they don't have anything in Maine for what Metro that's is showing, but they're starting to grab sections of different areas now. So this whole
yeah.
section is roughly where U.S. Sailor operates in too. So they're making some moves, and this is one of those things where I said that if they start purchasing or start trying to do like fiber acquiring fiber companies, then you can automatically take off the table any type of merger with a cable company.
Yeah.
And this like you can't even start talking about because what would happen is a cable company would become too strong. They would have to divest all this stuff that T-Mobile is trying to acquire just to purchase T-Mobile. So that this doing these type of moves are basically like, hey, we're trying to become a full blown ISP. But
Yeah, that company has the reputation. I mean, good for
yeah,
them.
that's true. Let's see what the fiber internet speeds would look like. So the lowest price, 100 megabits. New price, 500. 1 gig, 2 gigs, and 5 gigs. 5 gigs only available in certain markets.
Um, I can I can show you on here the speed tier pricing. I pulled up someone's address and it actually showed the pricing. Let me
Okay.
show it. That's what's showing in their pricing range.
What it look like? 100, 500, and 1 gig.
Yep, but pretty cheap too. I mean, if you're
How much is
comparing
that?
this
How much
AT&T
are they talking
fiber,
for? How much are they talking for 1 gig?
1 gig, 50 or
Yeah,
49.95 for a
that's
gig.
affordable.
Yeah, it's really good.
That's very
Very
affordable,
decent pricing. Hmm.
man. All right, so
Stuff or
T-Mobile,
something.
T-Mobile is trying to play with the big dogs, people.
Yeah, and it's symmetrical. It's unlike the fake symmetricals of other fiber companies.
Hey, look, Comcast in my area still ain't doing
Ah,
symmetrical yet. So until they do it, I'm upset with them.
oh yeah, they even in my market they don't do it yet. So you're not
That's
the only one with
crazy.
that one. It seems like they release mid split for only the markets like that don't have buildings around or things like that. Because over here I'm like still stuck with the gig downlink and the 20 uplink, or I don't know how much it was, but it's horrible.
Well, you know what? The biggest problem is the move. There's no move. There's no urgency to do it because we're locked into like do monopoly areas.
Yeah,
And if there was somebody else offering something better, then they would move faster. And that's kind of like the conversations that I've had with Aries has been like, hey, look, you know what? Nobody's going to want to build fiber in an area where somebody else is already doing fiber, but we might start seeing that's going to have to be a thing so you can actually start making a business.
yeah,
I mean, understand Cox Cable is in the Midwest also. T-Mobile is trying to purchase MetroNet. You're going to have to build where your competitor is.
yeah.
It's only a
Bundled.
given.
Yeah, make them bundle with their postpaid side or whatever they want because in the end, I mean, this is where most of the companies earn money now with the bundles of wireless
Right.
and discounts with the service with the network.
Yeah, that's just going to be one of those things that it's gonna have to start happening because these lone little islands are not enough. Comcast in my area in DC doesn't feel the urgency to do anything because they feel that, hey, people will stay. If
No,
they really truly had competition, they will upgrade. They were like, yo, we could do 10 gigs. You want 20? We could do 20.
also it also depends a lot on the price range because there's people here that have access to Xfinity. They also have access to AT&T fiber, and guess what they go for? A Verizon home internet box or a T-Mobile home internet.
Hey, I mean, here's the thing: the numbers don't lie. I mean, between Comcast and Spectrum, they are losing customers. So that means that people just want a good deal on internet. They don't care
Yeah,
if it's not symmetrical or not. They just like, yo, I want something affordable, and this is affordable.
portable when it works, it gets throughout the day perfectly fine.
That's true. All right, so on the next story we got here, good old Elon and Starlink are partnering up with cable companies. Cable is becoming Starlink's new best friend. So we all know that cable companies are more terrestrial. They're on the ground. Expanding is kind of hard. Starlink is in the sky, providing internet access to those that are in remote areas. Is a little harder to do. So cable companies are basically teaming up with Starlink to provide internet access to those in hard to reach places, rural America, remote areas. And it looks like cable companies are picking a side now, fixed wireless versus Starlink. So
Yeah,
this is starting to become a very interesting fight. I would say this is a very interesting fight because cable companies know that you're not going to really bring Starlink into the cities, but Starlink needs internet access for rural America.
yep. And
I mean, the, the,
that's the
the
whole
base
point of
stations.
Starlink, basically.
So I mean, here's the thing: the base stations need the base, like for your Starlink to work, the internet connection has to come back down to Earth. It can't just bounce around the up in the sky forever. It got to come back to a base station. And if the base station is being provided by a cable company, that's more connections and faster. More connection lead to faster network speeds. So it's going to be interesting to see what's about to go down.
Yep.
Like here, this is like the company on this article is not just Comcast, but also I think it's a company called GCI, which is a Alaskan operator, and Alaska is technically the biggest state in the union. But here's the thing: Alaska also has a lot of area that is not accessible, so you're not going to be digging trenches out there to the polar bears. That's not happening. You're not gonna be like, man, we would love to give you internet access, but this pesky river is in the way.
Yeah, there's not much up there.
I mean, if you ever watch any like the TV shows from Discovery, like the people who live in Alaska, man, they live in some remote regions. When I say remote, I mean like live in the trees.
Yeah,
What like
there's some little places.
hey, look, when how you say it? You know how when little kids are like, I want to build me a tree house. These people in Alaska literally live inside the trees. Okay, their tree is a house.
Yeah.
So I mean, Starlink is going to be more prevalent in those remote areas or rural America. Remote rural is going to be like the biggest thing. What's it? Liberty Broadband Enterprise Reseller Agreement with Starlink. So right now, and the bad thing is I hate to say it, but Elon is doing a lot of moves right now, or his companies are doing a lot of moves. Like with Starlink, and then on top of that, you're starting to get what is it? Low Earth cell service.
Yeah.
So that's really going to strengthen them even more. So I mean, like for me personally, I mean, the problem is the man exists in a lot of little areas that I pay attention to. That's always been the issue for me, anyway.
Mm-hmm. He's gonna keep growing. He's gonna find his way.
True. Oh, hey, quick question: If you had the
Huh?
money, okay, I want to know your honest opinion. If you had the money was not an object. Would you buy the Galaxy Z Fold 6?
Z Fold 6.
Yes.
Uh, I don't. I don't like hate the phones or anything, but I just I don't know if I would benefit from it personally. I feel great with my normal phones. I don't fold
Well, you
because
don't
I'm
like
not a
foldables?
I'm not a fan of the screen.
What?
Let's just say that. Yeah, there's so many things that just could happen to the display, and I'm not like into it because of that.
Because like for me, I mean, if I had the ability to get it, I'd get it right now. I gotta wait. But here's the thing: like I think that people are counting out Samsung because I get a lot of people that say something about my phone when they see it in my car. They go, "Oh, is that the folding phone?" And then that looks cool. Do you see the line? Look, the first thing they go is, "Do you see that line in the middle?" I'm like, I don't even see that line no more.
Yeah, once you get used to it, you don't really notice it, or it doesn't impact you that much. But like, what I feel is too much of a hassle on those phones is changing the plastic protector on top of it in a store or something like
Right?
that. Uh, I don't feel like I would really get up from a chair just to change a piece of plastic film on top of my screen.
Yeah.
The temperature changes are very hard here. If I'm doing speed testing, I know the phone's going to be hot, and then the heat outside is going to make it
Hey,
worse.
you gotta
Uh,
you gotta
there's too many things
you
that
gotta
could
get
happen.
the phone holders that fit into your vent. They
Yeah, I
hook
mean,
it into your
I don't
vent.
have I don't have a problem with that, but when you're outdoors a lot, it's really not the best.
You said it's not the best.
It's not the best when you're outdoors. I mean, the thing is, the heat usually beats the air conditioning where I live
Oh
because of the sun.
wow.
It's not really the most efficient way, but I mean, you could get away with it maybe, but not too much.
Yo, you telling me your AC ain't working right now, son?
No, it works great. The heat is very strong, so usually when you turn on the air conditioning, you have to wait like 20 minutes for it actually like to
Oh
go through
god. What's up, Brandon?
the actual
What's up, my
flow of
fellow
the car.
Democrats?
What's going on, sir? You gonna
Oh
give me
my
copyright
god.
strike tonight?
No, why? What happened?
Yeah, I got copyright strike last time you was
No, what
on.
happened?
When you play Umbrella.
No.
Yeah,
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. I was able to I used the thing to edit out the song. But yeah, as soon as you played it, and you didn't even play it for that long. It was like
It,
15 seconds, and then
it was
bam, it
no, it was
flagged.
less. It was less than
Yeah, it
10.
still flagged me.
Oh, oh shit,
Yeah,
sir.
man.
You two
So
automatically let's flash people like that. It's
so
normal.
so, so Brandon comes back to finish the job. He's like, finish him.
Oh,
What's going on,
it doesn't
sir?
take much.
Nothing much, sir. What have y'all been
Oh,
Talking
I
about if
was
you would
playing?
get a
asking.
folding phone.
Yeah,
Folding
would you
phone,
get a
would you get
go?
one,
Would you get a
Brandon?
folding phone?
No,
Oh, come
I
on.
mean, they're not bad. I just don't like them. I mean, I don't like them for my personal use.
Hey, I mean, what happens if this like in what is it? October is when not October. August is when
September.
September is when Apple releases phones. So if Apple released the iPhone this September that was a folding phone, you tell me you wouldn't buy it?
I don't think Apple's gonna make a folding phone until 2026.
I mean, but his that's a year away. I mean, what 2 years away?
Yeah,
But I ain't heard anybody dispute the fact that they might be coming out with one this year.
I don't think so. There's no. I mean, there hasn't really been much rumors about it,
See, that's normally when
but
you want to drop something when everybody kind of goes to sleep on it. It's bigger news.
maybe next year. But I doubt it.
But here's the thing: like from this article of Android Police, they're saying that the Z Fold 6 has Samsung lost its head start.
Hmm.
I mean, I think that they still
I
got a lot. I think that they still got a lot of juice in the tank because they're not really going all in on the foldable side. They they could shut it all down by making a bigger phone.
sometimes it's really not about size. It's more about what works for people because there's a lot of people at first that wanted slightly bigger iPads and now they're just going back to smaller ones. And the same thing with the max size iPhones. Because
True.
I heard Apple was saying, I mean, I heard Apple rumors are saying that this year is going to be the last Pro Max for the last not Pro Max, the last plus size that they're going to make. The Max is still going to
Because
be
the
a
plus
thing.
wasn't selling.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
like here you go.
but
Well, what was the purpose? What was the purpose of the plus? You got the same size as the max, or maybe a little bit less. That's just another SKU that you have to build,
I
and
mean,
you
I
didn't get
looked at
all the features.
I feel like the plus size and the regular 15 are basically for the non-tech savvy users.
Uh, hey, look, I look at the plus as like they didn't have enough maxes in stock, and I don't want to be I don't want nobody's gonna really know. 'Cause I'm gonna slap a case on it.
Because remember, Edmund, there was people that were complaining uh when the uh when the plus sizes came out and the regular sizes, and people were complaining that they want something smaller. Something smaller came out
And
called the
nobody bought
Mini,
it.
and it only lasted for and nobody bought it. It only lasted for 2 years, and people and Apple was saying that they weren't making much money off of it, and people weren't buying it.
Look, the premise of mine is people always want bigger screens so they can do more with the screen. So anybody like I
Not
feel like
necessarily. I mean, because okay, so like I like big screens, but I don't like the fact that I have to. I like there's too much screen, and I have to use two hands to basically
well,
play
here's the thing:
with the
if you use
damn
a regular
phone.
tablet, if
That's
you use a tablet, you got to use two hands to do that too.
that's true,
But
but
it always comes back around to portability. Like, which one is more portable? If you have a pretty sizable foldable phone that you can stick in your pocket when you're ready to go, versus are you sticking your tablet in your pocket? No.
That's the thing. But like for example, if I'm gonna use a tablet, it's basically just to look at photos, videos, maps, and that's it. I'm not gonna sit here and use it for everything because it's just too big. Or maybe if I'm looking for places to eat, maybe plan a trip or something like that. But I'm not gonna do that. But I'm not gonna sit here and use it 24/7 because mobile phones are getting bigger and bigger. Just in a few months, the iPhone 16 Pro Max is going to be 6.9 inches, as we discussed a few weeks back.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I think that people do want bigger and bigger phones.
No, they don't.
Hey, if you
Edmund, I'm gonna be honest. Edmund,
if
I'm
that
gonna be
wasn't
honest with.
true, if that wasn't true, then the mini would have sold. They would be still offering the mini.
No, but the thing is that people wanted a mini, but then they didn't want it. It's like you can never please everybody.
You're not
That's what.
supposed to try to please everybody. You see where the market is, and you go towards where the market is. The market is in bigger phones.
Mm,
I mean, here's the thing: a foldable phone gives you the best of both worlds.
but the
It
thing,
it folds up. It folds up when you don't want the bigger screen, and it unfolds when you do want it.
because Edmund, I'm gonna be honest with you. There's a lot of people I know that they like the max size phones, but then after a while they complain that it's just too big that they can't even hold on to it in their hands.
Hey,
And they
that,
and they
that, that sounds like a personal problem. Strengthen them
exactly,
fingers.
and a lot of people have uh cat
Hey,
fingers.
look, I'm just telling you that if that was like I said, if you what you're saying was true, then remember the iPhone 4 and the iPhone 4S, we would still be at that size right now.
Oh hell no. No, but like
But that's what I'm saying.
no
As soon as Apple went up from 4 inches to four like 5.2, they sold the most units they ever sold for that
no but
generation
Edmund, I'm not
up to that point.
no but Edmund, I'm not gonna sit here and get an 8 inch phone.
Look,
That's
I
just too
think
much
that
portable. That's just too much.
look, the way I see it
Same thing with the
is
VR.
I want a 7 or 8 inch tablet at my disposal, but I still need a phone for me to like just make regular phone calls. So if the folding phone can go into a 7, 8, or 9 inch tablet mode, hey, I'm all down for it. I mean,
Mm.
hey, look, I use my phone to pick people up in Uber. So I need a bigger screen so I can see where I'm going via the map on the screen. So that's why I need a bigger screen. Not because my eyes are getting bad. Yes,
I
I'm getting old.
mean, are you gonna need a projector to use a desktop, sir?
A projector. Hey. Here's the thing. They did start putting projectors in phones. I'm just saying.
Yeah, they've been doing
Don't
that.
tip me.
Yeah, they've been doing that the past 10 years, but nobody ever uses it.
Nobody ever did it because they don't have a use case yet.
No, because I remember seeing, Sprint made a phone. I think it was an LG phone or something like that, and nobody ever cared for it or used it. I don't know
Mm,
if you remember. It was a Sprint phone.
I remember. I think it was LG that did it. I think it was LG that
I
did it.
think it was an Evo or something.
It probably could have been, but that would
One
have
of
been
them.
HTC.
Yeah, something like that. Nobody ever bought it.
Well, I mean, like I said, it comes down to having a need, and until you have a need to be able to do it, I mean, that's kind of what always the name of the game.
No,
But
but
people do have a need. People do have a need for bigger screens. They'll find a look if it's just scrolling Instagram. They'll rather have a bigger screen than what look at Instagram and TikToks.
I mean, oh my god, I like a si- I like a 6.9 or 7 inch phone, but I'm not gonna sit here and want Aiden's phone and carried it all around,
Hey, look.
sir.
I would say the sweet spot is about 6 inches.
I mean, even
A
though
6 inch
radio had,
phone.
even though Radio and Carlos had them phones and they didn't mess with them.
Hey, when it came, like I don't know how it happened for Carlos, but I know for No Radio, he said it was the temperature extreme. He got hit with the temperature extreme. That's like Speed Tech was talking like, yo, and I keep my phones in the AC unit in front of the AC unit all the time, all day long. I don't want my phone to burn up.
I mean, a lot of people do, but sometimes you get those messages saying that your phone is too damn hot.
That's true.
Yeah.
But hey, I'm just curious. I wanted to see, poll my friends and see, you know, hey,
But
if money wasn't a
no, but
problem, would you buy one?
no, but the phone. I mean, the fold isn't bad, but I just don't care for it. I mean, I like that they're catering to a certain audience, but I just don't care for it. And like I've said many times, if I had to get my first flagship Android device, it would be the S24 Ultra.
I understand. Hey, look, I'm just
It's
telling you.
it's a nice phone.
Hey, look, I'm just telling you that. Hey,
I won't
the
get no
trend.
pixel phone.
Like, look, I'm not playing around with the Pixel myself, but I was just telling you, like, yo, look, if I would believe you if we were still on iPhone 4 size, phones. But it's hard to kind of see your way of thinking when every single
No, but no. Okay,
time
so
when every
no,
single
but
time
no, but
Apple has gone up on the size of the phones, they sold more units.
no, but Edmund. Okay, so you have to understand people are doing more and more on their phones. But I don't want to sit here and fold a phone and then bend it. I mean, and then basically like there's like so many sides of the damn screen and I mess it up.
Well, okay. Here's the thing. I have four. Yeah, I have four folding phones. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't run into that issue. Now, that's me. Let me knock on wood because, you know,
So you need to knock on rock, sir.
but hey, look, I'm just saying, like, from my point of view, it was, I haven't really had a screen problem yet. But guess who ended up having a screen problem? My father.
Mm. See,
My,
I don't
my
want
father.
I don't want to go through that, and I love OtterBox.
Oh, what's going on, Austin? How you doing, sir? He said he comes in to put live chat on life support.
Oh shit!
Yeah, not many people have said much tonight. So either they are agreeing with what I'm saying or there's a lot of bots. Which one? I hope it's just the people. I don't need the bots.
No, but Edmund, like I don't care for the phone,
I
and
feel you. Look.
and
It's
honestly,
not.
I don't
It's not for everybody.
it
I'm not. Look.
no, it's not for everybody. It's like an 87-inch TV. It's not for everybody.
I just want to say that same thing. There are a lot more people buying bigger TVs than they are buying smaller TVs.
Well, that's true because obviously the price of them came down. I remember back then a 32-inch was like $4,000.
Yes.
Cool.
But hey, now you can get a 32-inch for $150.
Yup.
But guess what? The people aren't going for those. They're going for the 65, 75, and 85-inch
Yeah, because
TV.
people are now putting 65 inches in their bedroom.
Right. Hey, look. Right next to the
I
bed.
seen
And look,
75.
they got to lean back and put a pillow behind their head just to look at the television. People
Hmm.
want bigger. They want the bigger screen.
Okay, so they do want bigger screens, but people don't want people don't want massive screens on in their hand. People like for example, I'm gonna be honest with you, Edmund. Like I like the 12.9 inch, the 12.9 the 12.9-inch iPad, but
Uh-huh.
holding onto it, it's heavy after a while.
It is heavy. Hey, check this
It's
out. Look.
but
I
I
would
don't
tell I tell you this.
but
I
I
tell
don't
you
like
this.
I don't like the keyboard.
Hey, look, I'll tell you like this, okay, from my point of view.
Uh-huh.
I inside my car, before I put the Samsung Big Tap, the Ultra in my car, I had a small phone. I had a Pixel phone, which was like a 5.6-inch phone. I think like the
Mm-hmm.
OG Pixel. Okay, I went from the OG Pixel size all the way to a 13.7-inch tablet. Why did I do that? Because people were wanting more. They kept saying, "Oh man, I can see everything. This is a big screen. I like this." So if I'm hearing that people like bigger screens, I'm just saying.
Yeah, but I mean, they also
People
mean it
don't like
in
to multitask though.
they mean it in a way that they can see their entertainment better. But like, I don't see anyone using it on a regular basis to do that type of stuff.
Hey, look,
Yeah, I don't either.
people. Well, look,
The only
people,
people that like
people mindlessly looking at TikTok on a bigger screen. You give them that, they will look. You think production levels is down now? Let people get their hands on something bigger. They can walk
Edmund,
around and stick in their pocket.
no, but Edmund, the only people that want bigger screens are literally well, even the only people that want bigger screens are literally TVs and people that maybe possibly are doing work on a laptop or homework. Those are the only people that are going to want bigger screens. But
Uh-huh.
more people are not going to want 7-inch phones
What's up,
because
Reader John? Greetings and salutations to you too.
oh Lord,
But no, hey,
people
look,
are
I feel like we can always go back and forth. I'm just saying that I just look at the numbers, and the numbers say that every single time Apple goes up on the size of their phones, they sell more of them. Look, that you
they're
even
most of the
said that they
time
didn't that when they sold the mini, ain't that many people bought the mini, and they didn't continue.
right.
So I'm just saying, like, hey, if we had to go by the numbers say that people disagree with you.
And man, you know how certain people want um how do I say implants on themselves, sir, and they go too big sometimes.
You talking about they out here getting them BBLs?
Well, no, well that too, and they go too big, but then after a while they can't sleep at night.
That's because they made a bad decision, sir.
That's my point. That's the same thing with the
Sometimes
phones.
they you what they do don't what they like. What's the rule? What's the rule of thumb? What they eat don't make me poop. So they go out there and
Something
make
like
a mistake. It don't do nothing for me because I don't care. I'm just saying, like, yo, if a whole bunch of people are buying your empanadas, and you all of a sudden go from small empanadas to big empanadas, and you selling more of them, you obviously see that hey, people want bigger empanadas. Yes,
hmm
Reader John, I did say BBL.
Oh gosh.
Oh, he said, did I say BBW? No, I didn't say that. I said BBL. But that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying to you is that people do want bigger phones. If you gave them the opportunity to buy a bigger phone, if Apple decided to buy a bigger phone, people would take it.
Edwin, would people buy a 13-inch iPhone?
Yes.
No, they wouldn't.
Yes, they would.
Okay, so they would pay $4,000 for that thing, or no, well, I mean
Hey,
not four
if
thousand three.
hey, now you're talking about price. I understand. People didn't buy the whole Apple headset because it was $3,500.
Yeah,
But do
but
I think do I think that people do I think
uh-huh.
there's people that really like the idea of VR? Yes. If it was like $1,000 or $1,500, they would have sold more units.
maybe, but it really doesn't make sense because all you're really doing is putting your phone screen in your eyes.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's about convenience. The more convenient you make it and make it easier,
But sir, what convenience is there?
the
Because if
convenience of not having to hold your phone is you got glasses that are sitting on your face.
Yeah, but that's tiring after a while. Like you're literally putting your phone screen in your eye. People are gonna complain after a while that they can't sleep at night, and they're looking at Monsters Inc. at
I
night and
mean, they
shit.
can't sleep at night already, and they ain't got nothing on their face yet.
It's my point.
Mr. Uh, Madison Evans, how you doing? He says hi from ENC, Eastern North Carolina. Let me find out. And then Reader John says he left Apple for Android. Hey, look, not many people do that. A lot of people leave Android and go to Apple. As the numbers have shown, Apple has gone over 50% market share. So I have yet to come across many people who've gone from Apple to Android. But I got one more story to talk about, and this is more of a
What have y'all talking?
nostalgic story.
Uh-huh.
Brandon, you might know about this one, but I don't think Speed Tech might know.
What happened?
Nostalgic tech time.
Are you gonna talk about what happened Friday?
No. I already mentioned that. The fact that the internet took a hiccup.
No shit. Uh-huh.
Now, this company FIIO wants to reboot the old school CD player, minus the AA batteries. So we're
Oh
bringing back
God,
CDs, baby.
I was looking at that earlier when I was at Walmart night, and I started to see those damn things.
Hey, CD players, come on, man. Yeah, look, you can dust off that old CD book that it's been stuck in the closet somewhere. That's what's up.
I still
And
have a
guess what?
CD book.
See,
I did too.
wait. Speed Tech, you have a CD book?
Yeah, I do.
Really? What you
It
got
was
in there?
literally all types of stuff, movies.
You ain't got no CD books, sir. You probably got a book that says CDs on it.
No, he probably got it from his parents, sir.
No, John, I'm not going to talk about that subject. I try to keep politics out of my channel. That's if I decide to make another channel talking about politics. So I'm gonna leave that alone for the time being.
Sir, tech also
Like
has
you said.
politics, sir. You got IG
What
Pie.
CD players are not political, man. It is nostalgic. CD players, come on, man. Do you know how many of those I went through? Oh, I don't think you know.
Oh, I remember them Sony ones.
Oh, Siri. Oh, sorry. I triggered the S word.
Wait, Siri came on?
Yeah. But hey, I'm just saying, man, do you know how many CD players that I went through? I lost count after 10. I had so many of them. And hey, look, if I had one that didn't have to have AA and AAA batteries, oh my God, I would be in heaven. Let's see. John says, "Are you getting even faster speeds than Atlanta Speed Tech?" So, hey, John says, "Are you getting faster speeds?"
What did he say that?
Yeah, so he says, are you getting faster speeds in Atlanta?
Oh, I just saw the chat.
Like, is T-Mobile getting faster? Is Verizon getting faster? Is AT&T getting faster?
At T-Mobile, like it has been the same for a while, but they're still upgrading, or they were upgrading small cells until now. But they're still upgrading a few left. Like there's very, very little left. But the speeds are it's pretty consistent overall inside the city. Obviously, once you got out of the city, there's a little bit here and there where your uplink goes down, which is pretty normal with mid band. It's still pretty stable though. I haven't had like any data drops around here in a while compared to when we had the Nokia equipment back then.
What about phone calls?
I honestly I can't really give an opinion. I mean, phone calls have always held up well for me, even when I travel. So I'm not sure. Like, I've done phone calls and it works. Like, it just works. I haven't had any trouble with it at all.
Okay. Hey,
Ever
Brandon.
since I had T-Mobile, I never had an issue.
John wanted to ask you: is Brandon, hold on, getting better T-Mobile in Houston yet?
Yes, sir. They actually won Houston on root metrics.
No,
Oh
they
my
did.
god!
No, they did
Yes,
not.
they did.
Metrics.
Hey. I would like to say that T-Mobile's finally putting the money where their mouth is and paying. Go ahead and just pay the root metrics tax.
Dude, they even won Los Angeles, Cleveland, and DC.
Oh, I know they bought DC. Come on, man. I know that. That much I do know. That was a given. But here's the thing. Did they win? They didn't win Vegas. They didn't win. Apparently, they didn't win Fort Worth, Dallas Fort Worth, because
They won Dallas.
Tyrone from Tech Life said that they did bad in calling.
Wait, they won. T-Mobile won Dallas.
Really?
But I don't know about Fort Worth.
Because I mean, Tyrone from Tech Life, he said that they had bad scores in calling. That's it. If I was reading his tweet right.
Here, I'm curious now.
I'm curious myself. Hold on, let me look.
I got you. We about to look on these.
I don't know how T-Mobile's gonna get Atlanta
T-Mobile
somehow.
overall, AT&T was last. Performance, T-Mobile was last.
T-Mobile lost Atlanta?
They had, well, I mean, their score did go up to 99.3, but Verizon still says somehow 99.7, which I don't know.
Is rigged. The game is rigged.
I don't know how. With all those band 13 small cells that they have, I don't know how, but like, I mean, if that's what it says, I mean, oh well.
So Verizon was last. Let me check the Woodland.
But it's a pretty good jump in the score because I saw that from what I'm seeing it says second half of 2023 in Atlanta, they had a score of 97.4. And
wow. How did Verizon pull that off?
I don't know. See, the network speed part is pretty questionable, to be honest with you. I don't know.
I'll go to the network speed.
I don't even know how AT&T scored that high, to be honest with you. Either.
Well, they were probably using turbo.
Yeah, the data performance is accurate.
That's the reason why I asked you, were you having any call problems? Because they said the call performance was bad in Atlanta.
I noticed that they started doing video.
Yeah, they're doing video now.
No, it said it was. No, it's tied on video.
That's interesting.
Three-way tie on
Whoa,
the
wait, wait.
text.
So video is tied, but calling T-Mobile lost that. That's suspect.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
It's
T-Mobile. I
harder
don't.
to do a video call than it is doing a phone call.
T-Mobile lost colleague or was in third place in the north of Houston, but in the overall they were second. They were second in calling, and I don't know how Verizon ended up being the last one, but they tied them.
I mean, that doesn't make any sense. Like you tie for video, you do terrible in phone calls. Hold up.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Test performance, you're bad. Network reliability, you're under. That smells kind of fishy.
That sounds about right.
That smells kind of fishy.
What about
Here, let me look at
Jacksonville?
DC. Hold on. Washington DC. Yeah, this looks about right. I mean, I wouldn't go that far and say it's that close though. Network
Yeah, some of
reliability,
them.
no. I've shown that. Network accessibility, network speeds, data performance.
I don't know how the scores are go through or how it's like graded in between, but I feel like the scores are somehow too high on some things.
That doesn't make any sense at all. How is calling bad, but video performance is good? Mm.
It's probably handoffs.
No, hey, if that was the case, like you know how when I get on the phone call with y'all, right? I'm heading into DC.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, I start breaking up real bad, but they all break up in that same spot. That's the only bad spot that I've come across in DC for T-Mobile, and I drive that route every day. I literally have shown what that route looked like on my channel. Like I drive through it, you can see that the data drops off on all three carriers. But to say that T-Mobile fell behind on testing and calling, that's crazy.
See, when they mention that there's like call issues at all, I honestly, like ever since I had T-Mobile, I've never really had a call issue like in general, and especially when it comes to data calls, like I've really never had an issue with that part either. Like I don't understand how it's graded or
All right, so
where these issues come from, but it's weird. And I also would like to know if they were testing on standalone for some reason or non-standalone for calling. That's what I want to know too.
all right,
They don't
so
mention that there.
T-Mobile got Houston. Network reliability was a tie. Network accessibility, T-Mobile got. They lost the network speed.
I feel they're about
Brandon,
the same.
Wait,
I feel they're about the same. Speaker, you're cutting out.
Is Reader John in Atlanta by any chance?
I think Reader John might be in Texas. Because he was asking about how Texas was. He also asked about you in Atlanta, but I think I've heard him say something about Texas more.
No.
Data performance. That doesn't make any look how it flips. AT&T data performance is worse, but their network speed is okay. It didn't flip. But
That's
it
why I
flipped for
keep
Verizon and
that's why I
T-Mobile.
keep saying that AT&T is not all that here.
Call performance is a three-way. It's a three-way tie.
Yeah.
Test performance is a three-way tie. Video performance is T-Mobile.
Do
That I
you have
could
a
agree.
Samsung device, Peter John?
Reader
If
John
you have a
says he
Samsung,
travels to Atlanta quite a bit. That's why.
yeah. It, if he,
Wait,
I don't know.
Edmund, go back
Go back where?
to the map a little bit. There's a suburb area that they got, the Woodlands.
Up here?
Yeah.
If you have a Samsung device, I did cell mapper here. It's basically completely green. So if you want to use that as a resource here, the Motorola should be able to run cell mapper, I think, right?
So the Woodlands
It
is
should. But go ahead, Brandon. You said you about to say something about the
the
Woodlands?
Woodlands is basically 30 minutes away from Houston. It's basically a suburb.
And is this what you're seeing there?
Yeah, Motorola should be able to run cell mapper. So if you
Yeah.
ever want to go for it,
The Woodlands is
I have
Well,
very
T-Mobile
wooded.
mapped here.
hold on, Speed Tech. So Brandon, so is T-Mobile's network speeds the same well, it says here it's a three-way tie for network speed,
Yeah, it's about right.
but Verizon comes away with the whole kit and caboodle though.
The Woodlands is a bougie upscale area.
Not the bougies.
Yup.
Verizon and T-Mobile are tied roughly in that
What
area
about
for test
calling?
performance. Who?
Calling.
Calling performance? Verizon.
Oh
T-Mobile's bad
wow.
at it. Verizon and AT&T are tied for number one. T-Mobile's last.
That's weird.
See? See what I mean?
I think what it is, Evan, because basically the Woodlands is north of Houston, and the Woodlands is very right
You said ripe or
from right.
Good.
oh,
Yeah.
hey, this right here might make Carlos mad. Woo. A tie between Verizon and T-Mobile in Vegas?
AT&T does not work over there.
And that's what I was like thinking. Like, how did they score that? AT&T in Vegas scored a little bit too high. If that's the case.
Video performance, T-Mobile guide. Test performance, T-Mobile guide. Call performance, they did. That don't make any sense. How you gonna be good at video and terrible in calling? Everything's voice over IP.
But the thing is, Edmund, is that how do I say it? Sometimes video is actually better on. I mean, sometimes it's like a routing issue or something.
I wouldn't be
So
surprised if it
John
is
said
that.
that they might be struggling on because of the strip.
Yeah.
Networks speed. AT&T has network speed.
No, they don't.
See, I mean that's what they're saying. Data performance T-Mobile has.
I don't understand how the network speed
Reliability
is.
Verizon has.
I don't understand how the network speed there is so like. How did they win that first? If Verizon accordingly has all those small cells and millimeter wave and whatever, it doesn't make any sense
Because those
at all.
small cells aren't. I mean, that millimeter wave is not helping towards call performance.
Well, I'm saying the data. You see how the network speed is accordingly AT&T, right? Like it doesn't make sense.
Hey, I believe you on that one. I think a lot of the Uber drivers in Vegas are using T-Mobile.
Of course they are, because a lot of them are mainly foreigners or on a
So
budget.
following on budget, baby. All right, let's see. One more city, and then we gotta go.
So check around California, right?
Yeah,
See
I
what's
want to get
around
LA
there.
proper, but I want to get LA, but I don't think they've done it yet.
They
If you
did
if you
LA.
if you zoom out and you press
They
on
did.
T-Mobile,
So LA's on the bottom.
yeah,
Oh, I'm in the wrong area. Ooh,
there you go. There is LA.
there it is. I was in the wrong section. Dang, a three-way tie in Los Angeles.
Yeah. Well, Los Angeles is a very diverse area.
Yeah, I'm not surprised away from this strip. It's not all that good. Yeah, I'm not
Hey,
surprised.
John, if I had more time in Vegas, I was starting to see that both T-Mobile and Verizon were something similar away from the strip. They started looking very, very, very similar. Network accessibility, T-Mobile has.
Is
Network
that what I
speed,
noticed?
T-Mobile.
What I noticed about Verizon is that they'll do their
Data,
best.
T-Mobile.
They'll do their best in like areas where it's highly populated, but once you go out of the area, you're literally seeing the same thing as any other carrier.
See, this doesn't make any sense.
What about
That doesn't make any
Riverside?
sense. Call performance. All calls are IP based now.
The T-Mobile has.
They're data. Like all calls are data. Like you literally if you say that T-Mobile's doing good in data performance or they doing decent in data performance, no, right here, data performance. But then you say phone calls they suck at.
Yeah, but Edmund, they've always they've been always iffy about calling the lines. They've always been iffy about calls, but they've
They've
slowly
gotten
gotten
better, but I
better.
don't know we don't know what methods that Root Metrics is taking. Like what are you talking about? You could hear a pin drop on through the phone call now. We're going back to the old Sprint where they drop the pin and you hear a pin drop. Is that is that the methods they're using?
Edmund, go to Riverside.
Riverside.
That's like west of Los Angeles. You passing it, sir?
Man, you just zoomed out. It's right
All right,
there. It's right
so
beside LA. To the right. Under it. Point your
there it
mouse a
is.
little bit down there.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Verizon got it.
What about
That
calling?
is significant speed.
Apparently, T-Mobile's not doing nothing there.
Oh.
Test performance is a three-way tie, and video performance 3. I do not get that. That doesn't make any sense in the world.
Edmund,
Video
they no,
performance
but
and
no
calling are
video,
one and the same.
no, but video is actually really good on T-Mobile.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is video is harder.
But again, T-Mobile was built on a data network. They weren't really built for calls.
Hmm.
What about that other area in Los Angeles?
Hold on one second. So Sneed chimes in. He says, let me make sure I get it right. Calling is tested by the ability to complete and attempt call and hold a call, drop calls.
And I don't understand where those drop calls come from then. I've been all around Atlanta and I still haven't found a drop call yet for some reason.
Edmund, go back to the map.
I'm on the map.
Go back. Go
See,
to
I want to know what network access they're using. Like if they're using standalone or
go
non-standalone for
to
the calling.
Temecula, California,
The where?
the one under Victor Valley.
Under Victor Valley. That's Riverdale.
No. Okay, go back to Los Angeles. Zoom into Los Angeles. Okay, go down. Or
Right
go to
here?
Mission Vehicle. Oh yeah, go to that one.
Disclose. Where did they disclose it? I don't see it. Like, huh.
All right. So Sneeze says they tally the numbers of drop calls in each market. Then they need to upgrade their phones because I haven't had those type of issues. Me personally, I just see that video call like video performance is harder to do. And if you have good video performance, the calls are all IP based. So it makes it kind of hard to say, hey, you're getting drop calls from video. If I can give you 4K video, but I can't make a phone call.
I think where T-Mobile messes up on calling a little bit is when you drive.
That means there would be handoffs.
Yeah, they don't have good handoffs when it comes to calling.
I don't know.
Property.
And that's one thing that we've always talked about.
Okay, so they at least mentioned the phones that they use to test. It says S23 Plus.
Oh wow.
That is
What
old.
about call performance?
I always hear your conversation, Sneed. I hear it.
What about call performance?
I like I said, I need to know. I want to know what their tested methodology is. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like it just doesn't make any sense. Being good at one should be able to translate over to the other.
I mean, one of the things I've noticed about T-Mobile is that they work better on FaceTime than the actual calling sometimes.
Tesla guy says T-Mobile is the best in his opinion. Missed it. Where'd it go? In his opinion, the call is amazing. Like I said, the only time I started running into issues is when I'm outside the city, and even then, I have to really try hard to come across something bad. Like if I go to a truck stop in the middle of nowhere, then yeah, I start seeing data performance. But then all three would have bad data performance. So I mean, calling is going to be one of those issues once I start running into bad data performance. Verizon's data performance is number one in the mission. T-Mobile's right behind it. AT&T's third.
I've never had a drop call from T-Mobile in Atlanta either. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I have never had a drop call here. I'm not sure where the hell they're getting these drop calls in Atlanta because I've never seen it.
I don't know. Hold on.
Let's look at Cleveland.
They must be going in someone's basement or something, trying to get no service or something.
So I said Cleveland.
Oh, I was about to look at DC. Cleveland, Ohio.
Up north. Up.
Yeah,
There it is.
right there. It's right beside the coast. Well, not the coast. But
Cleveland. Oh, wait, whoa.
Oh,
Okay. Excuse me, Mr. Sneed. What happened? All right, so Cleveland, network reliability, three-way tie, network accessibility, T-Mobile, network speed, AT&T. They flipping. Why do they keep flipping back and forth? Data performance, T-Mobile. Call performance, three-way tie. Test performance, three-way tie.
It's 50. I wonder what indoor location they tested then, because maybe one of
Video
the
performance, T-Mobile.
it's like a tower at every corner here. I don't understand if an indoor location, how would it have low service or a drop call inside? There's no way you can have a. I don't see it happening. I just don't see a drop call key
Well, okay,
on. Anyone in here, I don't see a drop
so here's
call
the thing,
here.
like, Sneed just said it. He's like, they test indoor locations. Well, I mean, you could pick a spot that a lot of different places are going to have bad indoor coverage because the building can block cell signals. When I went back home to my family reunion, there's a cell tower literally was like no more than maybe 300 feet from the site, and all three of my carriers on my phones were terrible. It was the building that was made out of was blocking the signal.
I got what?
All three carriers bad, and there's a cell site just outside.
They must not be testing inside the city then, if that's what they say. Is there a map on here? I don't know. There's some market stats maybe here. Oh yeah, they don't. That makes sense. They test all around. Even
Sneeze said that
outside
it's
the
random.
interstate.
All right, so I'm gonna check one more spot, and it's gonna be New York. So I want to see what New York look like.
Probably gonna be T-Mobile and Verizon.
Interesting. Yeah, so they do drive a lot outside too.
Verizon
Not
took
only
the
the
New York
Atlanta
City
area.
area.
I mean, that's the territory.
Network reliability,
Oh wow. Well, yeah, that makes sense because a lot of people in the Northeast, I would say that AT&T is
network
good.
accessibility. They must have went hard on millimeter wave for them to have to take the network speed. Data performance also. Hold on. T-Mobile recorded the fastest median download speed, 286 megs. Verizon's upload speed went up. T-Mobile download speed. Call performance. Once again, there it is. At the bottom of the pack. Test performance. AT&T.
I don't think T-Mobile sees the necessary methods to actually fix the calling performance, especially since uh, Like Brandon said, in the data network, so people usually use data for their calls
Hey,
instead of the actual calling system. But that's just me.
Sneed says
Like,
small cells, millimeter wave, CBRS makes the difference in NYC. That's a lot of hardware. That is a lot of hardware. I got to go back to New York again and try and test the networks out again. But I want to go. I'm probably going to go to a different borough. But this is a placeholder to find out what's going to happen. I think it has something to Sneed. I think it has something to do with SteamYard because it's not on my end. My connection to the net is good. It's StreamYard.
I was wondering, why is your screen so small on the StreamYard? I mean, on this,
Oh, that I don't know. I need to start making it bigger.
because like your screen on the actual stream looks very small and pixelated.
Oh, because you know what? They got me at like 480p.
Oh,
They got me at 480p, man. Because I'm not paying for it yet. That's why.
720, but it's weird how like it seems like the window size is like smaller than usual. Not sure if
Right.
you can see your own stream real quick and see that, but it's like
I'm probably gonna end up like I'm adjusting some of the settings so I can try to get it a little bit bigger.
oh, but wait, by the way, Keon,
Yeah.
can you pull up the tab again real quick?
Which one?
The root metrics.
Oh, I just closed it out. Hold on.
You know you can press the carrier you want to see where or what markets have one, right?
No, I didn't know that. Hold on. Root score.
Do you see where AT&T, Sprint, T-Mobile, and Verizon is?
Yeah, right here.
You can press them and see, like, it will show on the map only the ones that T-Mobile has won on.
So
With the
Washington,
rest, I mean,
D.C., Toledo, Tuska, Syracuse, St. Louis, Philadelphia. I'm surprised about Philadelphia. I tested in Philadelphia's market. Verizon had a lot of hardware there, a lot of hardware. Okay.
look at that, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Only T-Mobile's dot is on there. If you see on the menu on your right side, at the
Yeah.
bottom almost. It's interesting.
I mean, they're trying to win more cities. Three-way tie in California, Oklahoma, Miami, a three-way tie. Little Rock, Arkansas, three-way tie. Los Angeles, three-way tie. I mean, they're moving it up.
Wow.
Oh no, that's older stuff, but they're trying to move it up.
Yeah, that's good for them. And then, yeah, you can press also AT&T and Verizon. Like it will just show what they have won along with the others won, but like only their dot will show up on the map. Oh yeah, pretty good to see that.
Austin, let's see, man, you
Shows the
think
good improvements, I
about
guess.
having a larger device, but you have 480p quality. I'm working on it, man. This is what you do on with a shoestring budgets. You do this on a shoestring budget, man. That's what you work on. But hey, Speed Tech, thank you for stopping by, sir.
No problem. Been a
Brandon,
while.
he dropped out on me.
Yeah, he's gone. Just
Yeah.
noticed that too.
But hey, you stayed the whole time, man. You must have been driving.
Yeah, I was driving. I went to IKEA. I saw my favorite cookies back in stock, so I had to figure out one too.
Hey, I mean, if you were moving around the whole time, that's kind of weird to say that T-Mobile has bad calling.
I don't know, man. I don't know where these rumors
I
come
don't think
from,
I
but
heard anything like this call did not drop hardly anything for you. So
oh no, I've been at home. The only time that I did drop was the one where the T-Mobile home internet crashed. I don't know why. Uh, but I restarted and now it's perfectly fine. I'm not sure what happened.
okay.
That's probably because I had a pretty high uptime and I needed it to restart, you know.
Hey,
Oh
Tesla
well.
guy, all of it's data now. I mean, 3G it was analog until you go 4G and then everything went data. So all of it's data. But hey, thank y'all for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more silly antics, tech wise. I got some videos I'm still posting. See what my network solutions look like from the testing I've been doing. I went home a couple weeks ago, so I'm just floating those videos out now. But tell me what y'all think. USA is US Cellular versus the carriers. That's the mantra of the videos that I've been putting out now. Because some people might want to stick around, wait for the merger, wait for the buyout to happen. Some people want to go ahead and jump ship. You see if you got
Wow.
options.
1 gig out of a home internet is crazy, but I get pretty much 300 to 600 throughout the day with a low ping of 10 to 14 millisecond ping, which beats Xfinity. In other words, in
Well,
Atlanta.
that's not bad at all.
Yeah, I mean,
But hey,
getting those,
y'all have a very good evening. Hey, Sweet Tech.
All right, that's fine.
Say bye to everybody.
Bye, everyone. Have a great night.